Yeah, mate, the frustrating thing is, like, when we're playing our best football, we can beat majority of the sides. It's just, we speak about being consistent, but effort areas were there. It's just little attention to detail, which we're struggling with at the moment. And I feel like we kind of got it back on track against the Roosters a couple of weeks ago when I was playing. But on the weekend, it was a frustrating game to watch, being on the sideline, knowing I couldn't help the boys. But hopefully this week we turn it around.
Ryan Madison there was back on track a few weeks ago when he was playing. He's got to get back out there so they can get it back on track. The Eels obviously struggled on the weekend against the Rabbitohs. And again, the questions keep being asked. Are they a premiership winning team? Do they have the premiership winning players? Yes, they can beat the top teams on their day, but that consistency against the good teams seems to be not there.
The problem is, Braith, all year Parramatta have been going win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. You can't go through the finals, win, loss, and win a competition. So until they do figure it out, they're buggered. And look, they've beaten the only team to beat Penrith this year. They've beaten Melbourne, and yet they've lost to the Bulldogs and the Tigers, who were both running last at the time.
There's a little bit of Groundhog Day about this argument, though, isn't there? Like, we went down this road last year around Brad Arthur and is he the coach who is going to finally get Parramatta back to the promised land? And 1986 is forever raised. But look, on current form, Paul's right. You can't, like, if you're going to win the competition...
I don't think it's the coach. I think it sits solely on the players.
Paul,
it's up to the players to control their attitude. The attitude's the thing that's missing.
But the window, Paul, right? The window's wide open at the moment, but I don't think the window's going to be open for the next 5 years.
I get that.
They've got to strike now.
So a different coach with that team,
well, no, I'm not
they can win a premiership?
The point is, right, the point is that we're at a completely different level to Holbrook and Trent Barrett and Michael Maguire and clubs that couldn't win. Brad Arthur has done a fantastic job rebuilding this club. There's no question in the world. And he's hand-built this roster brick by brick to get it up to the point where it can beat Penrith and it can beat Melbourne. But for a couple of years now, for some reason or another, they have not been able to get it together when it mattered most. And the problem, as you just pointed out then, is that consistency is just not there. Arthur said after the game on the weekend, it wasn't an effort problem. But then in the next breath, he says, but we've got individuals out there that are not doing their job today, and we need 17 guys doing it at once. That's a coach's job. A coach's job is to get them up for that game every week. Brad Arthur has to be that person. He's had 9 years to get it right. They're not going to be a better squad next year when they lose Nurakora, Papali'i, Reid Marnie, Nathan Brown, Ray Stone. They're not going to be a better squad. This is their year. They have to get it right now. I'm not saying Parramatta are even going to be able to find a better coach out there on the market to replace him, but the pressure's on Brad this year to get it right.
There's no doubt about that, but when you talk about attitude going missing and attitude not being there and not paying attention to certain aspects of that's on the players. I'm sick of... It's too easy for players to sit back and let all the criticism get driven towards the coach. And it's almost like, all care, no responsibility. Like, the players have got to... Someone at that club has got to stand up, whether it's Clint Gutherson or Mitch Moses, who I see as the two leaders of the club, and say, boys, enough's enough.
Brad's backed them to be the leaders.
It's been a similar core and nucleus there for a long time for similar results. I believe I agree with Kenty. It's got to be these guys who take... Because they can get it done, and the coach has got them BA in a position where they can get it done. And they've done it a few times.
But they've got everything.
The players are the ones that have got to go to that next level. They've got to really take this team to premiership glory. And I think he's taken them as far as he can. That's... I think it's up to the players, mate.
Or one of those blokes has taken them as far as they can.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Whether Parramatta where Brad Arthur sits down, I know Gutherson's just re-signed and Moses has still got time left as well. But does he sit there and look at his core group of players as leaders and say, I need someone here that can come in?
Well, you raise an interesting point there, Mitchell Moses, because I think he's actually got an option in his favour in terms of his contract. So as of November 1, he is free to go out there.
If it's in Mitchell's favour.
No, but I'm saying if that's there, then clearly the lines of communication are going to mean that if other clubs do want to come in, then that conversation can happen.
Yeah, it's up to them. It's up to the players now to shut all of us up and prove us all wrong. And they've got the ability to do that. Now they've just got to deliver.